You ever get so upset at a game? You ever get so tilted to the point where you literally can't even think about the game? Like you're just so angry, you start missing all your shots, or you're missing the plays. You're not outplaying your opponents any further. You're just not playing very well. Well, that actually can be mitigated. You can fix that problem of getting so overly tilted. What's up, dreamers? Welcome to Driving and Vibing. Today, I want to talk about getting super angry at games, getting tilted, being one of those toxic players, being overwhelmed with anger during your games. Now, there are a lot of people who, and I was this way when I was competing Counter-Strike, heavily competing Counter-Strike, I used to get upset at the game, and I used to get so tilted some of the games, and I just, for the life of me, was unable to recoup unless I got up and took a break and walked away from the game. And that's definitely going to be the number one tip, but let's backtrack for a second and continue our story. I would spiral out of control. I would start missing shots. I would not be able to outplay my opponents. I just would not play well because I was getting angry and angrier because during the game, especially when competing, I did not do anything to help myself become less tilted. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to jump forward again. The first thing I could say is the best thing you can do is take a break, okay? So like the end of the game, get up, walk around. That's what I used to do. Sometimes I would take the rest of the night off. Like if I had a couple of tilted games in a row, I'd just take the rest of the night off. And I would, maybe play some casual games of a different game, of course. Or I would just hang out, do whatever. Or just go to sleep, catch up on my Z's, which is very important. Sleep's very important. That'll help reduce the, tendency of becoming super angry. So taking a break is very, very important. Now during the game, one of the best things that you can do is breathe. A lot of people, when they get angry, they start hyperventilating, basically, for lack of better terms. They start breathing heavier. Not heavier. Let's rephrase that. They start breathing faster, more shallow, and you're not getting the blood flow to your brain or your body at that point that you actually your body requires. So then you're just going to spike your heart rate. Your cortisol is going to spike, which is the stress hormone. So all of this is going to negatively impact it. It's going to aid to your anger. So breathing is very important. So what you can do is there's a lot of different breathing techniques out there. You can look at these up online, but typically you can breathe in like 1, 2, 3, 4, breathe out 1, 2, 3, 4. Do that a couple of times, and really just clear your head. While you're doing that, think about the fact that the anger is temporary, like whatever the situation was that set you off, it's in the past already. We're going to move forward. I know I'm a good player. You got to put yourself back in the mindset that you're not upset, you're not angry. It's easier said than done. It will get easier with practice, but that will, in the moment, that will actually help you reduce your feeling of anger or tiltedness and can help you push forward in the game. I've done that very rarely when I was competing because, again, I didn't realize that, I was never told this and I didn't look it up, so I didn't really realize that, but sometimes I did. Sometimes people say, oh, take a breath, so I would do that, and I'd just be like, you know what, it is what it is. And sometimes that did work, but I did not practice it enough for it to become efficient, and that will really help your game overall as well, because it'll keep your heart rate steady. Your stress in stressful situations, your cortisol won't skyrocket, right? So it'll help overall in general as well. So there are two of the best tips that I can give to help reduce the tendency of getting overly angry or tilted or upset at the game. Okay? If you have any tips of your own, let me know in the comments. I'd love to get this conversation started. Hit that like button, helps out the channel. Hit that subscribe button for more content like this, and I hope to see everybody in the next video. Later, dreamers.